Welcome back everybody to another Geometry Dash tutorial. In this one what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how you can have a cool level where it's kind of like two rooms and then you're gonna have like a pipe in here and you're gonna go straight into the pipe and you're gonna exit out the other way and it's gonna have cool animations and it's gonna be very cool. So let's just get started right away. So as always, my tutorials are super duper beginner friendly, so slap the subscribe and let's begin. Let me just save my level. Actually, I'm not going to. I'm gonna show the grid. And yeah, let's just give it a try. So let's say this was your level. You had a level that looked like this, and then you want to start right here. If you want to start here as the platformer mode, just add this X, give it a group ID. Let's say we give it to 1, and then you go in here, in there, and 1. So now if you go to platformer mode and start, you're gonna start in here and beautiful. So now we're actually gonna choose our pipe. Which pipe do we want to use? Obviously we're gonna use this one because it looks the best. So how do we give this color? You guys can see that this is split between 3 different things and you're just gonna add this one first and then add this one and then just add this one. So select this one and click on edit object. Let's give it 7 and 8. So these are the colors, and now by clicking on this, you're gonna see that we are going to change the color of it. You guys guessed it, we're gonna make this dark green and this one's gonna be light green. So this looks very phenomenal. We're gonna copy the values. We're gonna select this one. We're gonna paste the color. And now by placing them like that, you guys are gonna see that we're starting. So now this one is the outline. I like to have the outline as black, which is 4, and the secondary color is going to be 8, but we're going to go on to here, the HSB. So select it, click, and then another time, and then go to 2, brightness, and make it a bit light, which I can now see is doing nothing. So let's just do the saturation too. And like that, we have a pipe. Okay, now the outline for this one as well exists. Yeah, don't ask me, but it's actually this dot, which is not a dot at all. But it works. I mean, that's all that matters, right? But the hitbox of this is absolutely insane. Okay, like this, and we're gonna give it 4, copy and paste, and just rotate it. It's phenomenal. It just goes to the perfect direction that we want. Okay, cool. We have created a gorgeous pipe. So I'm just gonna go ahead and create another room in here where we're gonna exit from. So if you come down from here, you should go up from here. You're just gonna coming down like that. You guys get it? Okay, so now for our effect to actually work, you want to change the way this pipe is structured. And you guys can see that this is an entire section, but we want to make the section a bit smaller. So to do that, you want to select all of these guys, go to scale. This is a cheat code that I think even RobTop used, and click on this one and then do that like this. And now you just want to copy and paste them and fill them in like so. Now you guys might not see what I'm gonna do with this, but you guys are gonna see in a bit. So doing that, this one is now 60 objects. You might be wondering like why. You could literally just do this with like 2 objects if you just do this. That's correct, but we want to have many objects for our effect to work. So now that you have this, what we want to do is we actually want to place it on T2 just so that it's actually above these guys. And I'm planning for this one to be above it, so it doesn't really matter if we place it like that. Now I realize that we're not going to see the entirety of the effect, so I'm going to do this. And yeah, I think that's a good position for the pipe. So going in there should make you go out of the other side. So how do we exactly do this? Well, first thing is we're going to copy and paste the pipe over to here, and we're going to do this. I want to do some cool camera work so that it doesn't look janky. So let's actually begin with that. I'm going to add an X in here and an X in there. We're going to give this a group ID of 2, and this one is going to be 3. And now we want to add a camera edge, which is basically going to set the edge of the camera. In our case, on the right side, it's going to be 2 because this one is 2, and on the left side is going to be 3. So left is 3. Just make sure you have 2 triggers, and now you guys can see that the camera will not go beyond these points, and it's awesome. You can also use 3 or 2 as down, like down, and now yeah, that's very cool. However, I like to have this a bit more down so that we can actually see the effect once you actually go into there. So how do we make you go into the pipe? Well, first thing, I'm gonna select all of these, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring them to layer 1. So by going here, layer 1. Now you want to get rid of this specific block and you want to move these a bit like that so that you can actually fall through here. And it looks a bit weird at first, but we're going to get into fixing that. So let's actually also add some hitboxes to the actual pipe. So we're going to add this, we're going to make it hide, and we're going to add it in here as well, so that now you can actually go like that, and you can even stand on the pipe. But if you go like right in the center, you're going to start falling in there. So very, very, very cool. I am also thinking of maybe hiding the ground, but let me see. So I'm going to add a camera offset down just because we really want to have that beautiful effect. And yeah, we're definitely going to have to hide the ground, or we can just do this, honestly. And now we can see too much of the pipe, so we're going to do that. And yeah, that's very cool. So that looks pretty cool. Now, if you actually fall into the pipe, what should happen? I would say let's first add the actual effects that would happen once you actually go into there. So we want to select all of these guys and we're going to give them a group ID of 4. And then what we want to do is we want to add a area scale trigger. This one is a very cool trigger, and we're going to do edit object 4, and then 5 is going to be, let's just add any object really. I'm going to do this square. We're going to give that one a group ID of 5, and then this one's going to be the center group ID right here. And you want to make sure that you select this one. And now you want to do in here, I don't know, it really depends on how you want the effect to look like. I'm going to try 10 and see how that looks like. And what we're going to do is we're going to do like 1 point. So, okay, so on the X, it's going to have to scale to like 1 point. I don't know if 4 is too much, let's do 1.3. And on the Y, it should just stay the same. So now what you guys will see is that there's this cool effect, which is very nice, but it's going to be nicer once you actually animate it. So we're going to have to add a spawn trigger, and we're going to go ahead and add this one into a new group ID. Let's say we give it 6, and then it has to be a spawn trigger as well. And the spawn trigger now has to spawn 6 on touch. So as soon as you touch this, it's actually going to play the effect, as you guys can see. Very, very simple. And now we also want to move this square down. So you want to add a move trigger to move 5, which is our square. I know that wasn't 5, but whatever. We want to move it down by, I don't know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by, let's do 60, because we want it to go even more than that. And now you guys are going to see that this one has to have the same group ID, so 6. And also spawn trigger. So now as soon as you click here, you guys are gonna see that there's this beautiful effect. And now seeing it, I think 15 might be a bit cleaner. And I think 1.25 maybe is gonna be better. Also easy in and out just to make it smoother. Oh my god, this looks so good. Okay, we're gonna have to add this like right here. And now you go through it, you're actually not going through it because this thing it should be below. And also now thinking about it, this one also has to be on top because it has to be on top of the player, right? And now going in there, oh, that was so good, bro. I absolutely love it. Okay, we're gonna make the spawn trigger hidden, so just so that we can actually see the perfect effect. Okay, cool. So another way to make this even smoother is to move this up by 20 and then increasing this by 20 or decreasing it because we're going down. And now boom, oh, that's so good. Okay, so you're going down in there. And you guys can see that the effect kind of stopped right here. That's because we need to actually move it a bit more, 90. And now, yeah, now we have a phenomenal looking effect. So you're basically just falling into the pipe and I'm going to make you fall out on the other side. So to do that, what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to use the exact same area trigger just so that we save objects. And I'm just going to make it like a nice little like stair like that, just to make it a bit cleaner. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and teleport you onto here. So we're going to have to teleport you to here exactly. So we're going to add an object right here. We're going to give it a group ID. Let's say we give it 7. And you want to see where exactly should you like teleport. So it's probably going to be, we're going to have to first find the teleport orb, which is in here. Not the orb, I'm talking the trigger. So you actually also want to have the spawn trigger right here. Just select it and do spawn ordered. This is very important so that these guys get called, and then it kind of waits until the next one is reached, and then it calls that one instead of calling them all at the same time. So you guys guessed it, this one has to be also group 6 because all of them are together, and also spawn trigger. And what was the circle again? The circle was 7, so we're gonna go to 7. So now we're gonna go to 7, but you're not even gonna be able to see that because it's very weird. And to fix that, we're actually gonna have to unlink the camera, because remember, we made the camera kind of lock, and we're gonna have to undo that. So we're gonna copy and paste this one, and we're gonna give it the same group ID exactly as these guys, just so that it joins the group. And we want to unlock it on the right, we want to unlock it on the left. And now, just by doing that, you guys are gonna see that we have teleported onto here, but we still don't have any effect here, and the camera is super duper janky, and it's overall very weird. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna, first of all, make this teleportation trigger no effects, so that it doesn't kind of pulse the screen to white, which is exactly what we want. Now the camera kind of moves there, which you can fix by going to instant camera. I believe this should work, and it doesn't work because I don't know, but we're gonna fix that in a bit. Okay, so now I'm not gonna have any new camera edge follow things, because I think this is gonna be like a free fall section, so I'm not gonna bother with that. So what we're gonna do next is, let's actually just get into getting the effect done. So give all of these guys a group ID of 8, and then add the same thing, and give this one 9, and then you want to copy and paste this one. It doesn't really matter where you place it, it just has to be between these two in here. And this one is 9, and the other one was 8, so the center is 9 and the target is 8. So, and then right here, this is where 9 should start falling down. So now we have basically the exact same effect, but it's in here. But it's so fast you can't even see it, which is annoying. So we're gonna have to fix that. So to do that, we're actually gonna move these two over to there, and we're gonna add a little twist. We're gonna make it a lot smoother by adding a gradient trigger, which is having a bit of a flashbang over here. We're gonna do 1, we're gonna do max, and we're gonna give it a color. Let's say we give it 22 and 22, and then right before anything happens, you actually want to make sure that this is opacity is 0, otherwise you're not gonna be able to see anything. So we gave it the color ID of 22 on the both sides with an opacity of 0. Now we want to bring up 22 slowly, and we're gonna basically bring it to 1, and then we're gonna teleport you, and then we're gonna bring it back to 0 opacity. So to do that, we're actually gonna make these guys spawn trigger, and also, yeah, they have the same group ID as all of these guys. And now looking at it, I think I'm going to move these a bit like that, and we're going to do something like this. A bit of, 0.3 seconds should be good. So make sure that it actually happens before any camera works is done. So this, you go down, and then it does that, and then it never goes up again for some reason, because this thing it should be 0, because we want to go up and then we want to go down. Okay, cool. So now going through the pipe did the perfect job, but this thing I feel like should go first, and we should also kind of have the camera in here for a few seconds. Actually, now thinking about it, we must have a camera up at least. So we're gonna add this X right here. We're gonna give it 10, and we're gonna add an edge trigger. We're gonna give this 10 for up. So what this is gonna do is make sure that we can never see the upper part of this thing, and this one has to be up by 1. And what other things do we want to do? Yeah, the camera is very janky, so to fix that, what we're going to do is we're going to make it static on the 7. So copy values, paste state, we're going to make it static on the 7 instantly like that, because here the camera is completely black, so if you move the camera as fast as possible, it's not actually going to be visible, which is very cool. So now this is phenomenal. So you go through the pipe, and then there's some weird stuff going on. I have no idea why. It's probably because of this instant camera, which it doesn't really work in here. And it's also because this one is on X only. I believe if we do like everything. Yeah, that's so cool. Exactly what I thought. You don't need the Y only or X only, because we have already put in a limit to where the camera can go up. So it doesn't really matter that we focus the camera onto this object, because it can't go above this one, right? That's what we did over here. So now this looks so cool, and we're almost done. This thing, of course, T1, make sure that the player actually comes out of it. And honestly, I think we're done. But there's just some cool things. Add this one, click here, no multi-active. But there's an issue now. If you keep holding to the right, you guys are gonna see that you're just gonna come out of there, which is not very optimal. So to fix that, you just wanna make the player instantly be unable to move. So disable player 1, and after you teleport him with quite a while, you want to disable them, so that now I'm holding to the right. I'm gonna keep holding left, 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 and you see I was not able to jump until I actually landed. So now select every single thing that is really just for some technical things and just make them hide. And yeah, I think we're almost done. Now, making these guys go here, is that an issue? I don't think so. Maybe it is, because the player is not going to be able to go. Yeah, the player is now kind of stuck in there, but that looked very ugly. So to fix that, you can just make them, you know, no touch. And now, because we have added that thing, it's not really going to play any... This is so cool. Okay, let's just give it a try in here. Just make sure that you add this one. And is there anything else we forgot? I believe not. So 255 objects, and we have created a phenomenal looking piping system, or whatever you want to call it. So this is our pipe. We can go into there and it kind of gets you onto the other side. And now I realize I forgot to make this pad as invisible, but you guys are so good at the editor, you guys can do it yourself. So to unlock the camera, you can just do this, exit camera, this slowly, of course. And we're gonna make this one as hidden so that we can't see any effects or particles. Also make sure to hide those. And actually 256 objects. Well, we can get rid of one single block. I think that's not an issue, but yeah, check this out. Cool. I think this is very nice. I hope you guys liked it, so make sure to subscribe and also like the video right now. I hope you guys learned something new. Feel free to rewatch this video as many times as you want, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Watch one of those playlists that is on the screen right now. I'll see you guys over there.